Black Cat presents Wonder by R.J. Palacio. Copyright Black Cat. R.J. Palacio. R.J. Palacio was born in New York City on July 13, 1963. Her birth name is Raquel Jaramillo, and Palacio was her mother's maiden name. Palacio studied art at the High School of Art and Design in Manhattan, and later she worked as a book illustrator. She designed book covers for famous authors like Paul Auster, Salman Rushdie, and many others. She also wrote and illustrated her own children's books. For example, Peter Pan, the original tale of Neverland, The Night Before Christmas, Last Summer. Wonder was first published in 2012 in America and then in 45 other countries. The author had the idea for Wonder when she came home from a trip to an ice cream store with her sons. Her younger son cried because there was a boy with a deformed face. Palacio left the scene because she didn't want to hurt the boy's feelings. Afterward, she thought about it. Palacio says that we mustn't run away from people who look different. We must teach our kids that there is nothing to be scared about. The main message in the book Wonder is kindness. The author says that kids can choose to be kind or unkind, but parents also have an important job because they must teach their kids to be polite. They should teach them to write thank you notes and help their friends. Palacio has also published 365 Days of Wonder, Mr. Brown's Book of Precepts, 2014, Augie and Me, 2015, and a picture book for young children called We're All Wonders, 2017. There is a movie based on the novel Wonder, starring Jacob Tremblay as the main character August Pullman, Julia Roberts, and Owen Wilson. Palacio lives in Brooklyn, New York with her husband, her two sons, Caleb and Joseph, and her dogs, Bear and Bo. Chapter 1. August. I know I'm not an ordinary 10-year-old kid, but I feel ordinary inside, and I do ordinary things. I eat ice cream, ride my bike, and play football. I have an Xbox. But ordinary kids don't make other kids run away screaming. People don't stare at them. It's okay. I'm used to it, and so are my family. My sister Via is 4 years older than me, and she likes to protect me. And Mom and Dad think I'm extraordinary. My name is August. I won't describe my face. Whatever you're thinking, it's probably worse. I start school next week for the first time ever. People think I don't go to school because of the way I look, but it's because I have to go into hospital sometimes for surgery. I study at home with Mom. This is called homeschooling. I have a few good friends, but Christopher, my best friend, moved away 3 years ago. Sometimes Mom tells me about my birthday. She says that when I appeared, the doctor fainted, and when he finally woke up, he told Dad that I was very sick. Mom says that when she looked down into my little mushed-up face, she thought how pretty my eyes were. Last spring, we went to visit Christopher, and I heard Mom talking to his mom. Augie's ready to go to school. He needs to learn more than I can teach him. I felt like crying. What school? I asked. Beecher Prep, Mom answered. Why can't I go to Via's school? I asked. It's too big, Mom said. I don't want to go to school, I said.
Maybe Augie's not ready,
said Dad. I heard them whispering on the drive home. We can't keep protecting him, said Mom.
Like a lamb to the slaughter,
said Dad. What's a lamb to the slaughter? I asked.
Go back to sleep, Augie,
answered Dad. We spoke to the principal last year, and he wants to meet you, said Mom. You didn't tell me, I said. Anyway, I don't want to go to school. Maybe next year. This year is better, Augie, said Mom. 5th year is the first year of middle school for everyone. You won't be the only new kid. Yes, but I'm the only kid that looks like me. People stare at me, I said, and started crying. Why don't you meet the principal, Mr. Tushman? Said Mom. Then you can decide. Mr. Tushman, I said, smiling, because in America, tush means bottom. Dad smiled too.
Mom and I had a professor in college called Miss Butt.
That also means bottom. We all laughed. I'm nervous about meeting Mr. Tushman because of all the jokes Dad made about his name. Mr. Tushman is tall and thin. He looks at me and smiles.
It's a pleasure to meet you, August. Your mom says you're a great artist and you like science. Is that right?
Uh-huh, I say.
Are you ready for a tour of the school?
Yes, I say. We go into Mr. Tushman's office and meet his secretary, Mrs. Garcia. She has a really shiny smile. There's a painting of a pumpkin on the wall. Mr. Tushman explains that it's him, and I suddenly can see that Mr. Tushman has big cheeks, and when he smiles, he looks like a jack-o'-lantern. Then Mrs. Garcia says, They're here. I don't want to meet anyone, I whisper to Mom. But Mr. Tushman hears me.
These are nice kids. They can show you around the school.
2 boys and a girl stand in the doorway.
So, kids, this is August,
says Mr. Tushman.
August, this is Jack, Will, Julian, and Charlotte.
We smile and look down. It's difficult.
You can take August to the homeroom, the science labs, and the computer rooms, then the library and the cafeteria,
says Mr. Tushman. I look at Mom before I leave. She seems more scared than me. We go to the homeroom. Charlotte tells me all about the play Oliver they did last year. I listen, but I can see Julian staring at me out of the corner of his eye. People do this a lot with me. They think I can't see them stare, but I can. Why is your hair so long? Julian suddenly asks me. I shrug. I don't know what to say. Can I ask you a question? Julian says. What's the matter with your face? Were you in a fire? Julian, that's so horrible, says Charlotte. Just shut up, Julian, says Jack. Come on, August, let's go into the library. Jack holds the door open and looks me right in the face, and I smile. When we get back to the office, we say goodbye to Mr. Tushman, and I tell him that everyone is really nice. How did it go? Mom asks when we're outside. I don't answer, and when we get home, I go to my room. My dog, Daisy, licks my face. Later, Mom says that she thinks Julian's a nice boy, and I shake my head. I say that Jack's a nice boy, and I tell her what Julian said. Mom's cheeks become bright red. You don't have to go to school. I want to, I say. Chapter 2. August. I'm nervous on the first day of school. Mom and Dad take photos of me and Via, and then we walk to school. Nothing bad happens. Only once I see girls stare and whisper. We arrive at the front entrance.
This is it, big boy,
says Dad. Have a good first day. I love you, says Via. I give Mom a quick hug because her eyes are full of tears. I go to my homeroom. I try not to notice the stairs. I sit at a desk, but the other kids choose desks far away from me. When I see Julian and say hi, he doesn't speak to me, but then someone sits next to me. It's Jack Will. Our teacher, Ms. Petosa, smiles at everyone, but at me the most. It isn't a shiny smile, but a normal, sincere smile. We have to speak about ourselves, and suddenly it's my turn. My name's August. I have a sister called Via and a dog called Daisy. No one has any questions for me, so I sit down. Jack next, says Miss Petosa, but Julian raises his hand. I have a question for August, Julian says. Why do you have a braid in your hair like a Jedi from Star Wars? Do you like Star Wars, August? Ms. Petosa asks me. Yes, I answer. I want to go under the desk. Do you like Darth Sidious? Asks Julian. That's enough about Star Wars, says Ms. Petosa. Jack speaks next, but I don't hear a word. In episode 3, Revenge of the Sith, Darth Sidious's face burns. He becomes totally deformed. It's English next with Mr. Brown. He writes Precept on the blackboard. No one knows what this means. Precepts equals rules about really important things.
Tell me some important things,
says Mr. Brown. Kids say, rules, schoolwork, homework. One girl says, the environment. A boy says, sharks. Mr. Brown writes, September precept. When you have the choice between right or kind, choose kind. Lunchroom teachers in the cafeteria say you can't save seats, but everyone does. I find an empty table and open my packed lunch. Girls look at me. I can feel their eyes and I hear their whispers. It's difficult for me to eat. I have a hole in the roof of my mouth and problems with my jaw. I eat like a tortoise. A girl sits next to me. She has long, wavy brown hair. My name's Summer. What's yours? August. Cool, she says. Summer's eyes are green like leaves. How was school? Asks Mom. From 1 to 10. Mom always does that. 1 is a little bit and 10 is a lot. 5, I say. Wow! Were the kids nice? What about that boy, Julian? I think about his Darth Sidious comment. He was okay, I say. And I saw a pretty girl wave goodbye to you. That's Summer. We're like Beauty and the Beast. That night, I cut the braid on the back of my hair. Dad is pleased, but Via is surprised. Did someone say something? She asks. No, I say. But later, when Mom reads me a bedtime story, I cry. Why am I so ugly, Mom? I whisper. You're not. She kisses my eyes that are too far down my face, my hollow cheeks, my tortoise mouth. She says soft words, but words can't change my face. Many kids look strange. Some have strange haircuts and earrings in their noses. Some have pimples. But no kid looks like me. Things are okay at school, but no one ever touches me. It's like the cheese touch in Wimpy Kid. The The person with the cheese touch is a social outcast. That's me. It's Halloween. I love it. It's the best festival in the world. I tell everyone about my Boba Fett costume before October 31st. But that morning, Via's unhappy about something, and we're late. I wear my Bleeding Scream costume from last year because it's easy. A long black robe and a big white mask. At school, people expect me as Boba Fett. They don't know who's in the Bleeding Scream costume. Julian's Darth Sidious, and I hear what an Egyptian mummy says to him. He has a weird face. He looks like an orc, says Darth Sidious. Imagine you're him. You look in the mirror every day and see that face, the Egyptian mummy says. People stare. It's awful. Why do you sit with him? Asks Darth Sidious. Tushman asked me to at the beginning of the year. The mummy shrugs. I know that shrug and the voice. It's Jack. I run out of the classroom and go to the nurse's office. I tell her I don't feel well. Mom comes and takes me home. I don't want to go back to school ever. Chapter 3. Via. August is the sun. Mom, Dad, and me are planets. We orbit the sun, and our friends and family are asteroids and comets. They move around the planets. Daisy, our dog, is a celestial body. I don't mind this universe. August needs special attention, and Mom and Dad can't always watch me play soccer because they're busy with him. Mom and Dad say I'm the most understanding girl in the whole world. I'm not. I organize my life because Mom and Dad haven't got time for me. I do my homework, finish projects, and study for tests. When subjects are difficult, I study more until I understand. My worst day, my worst headache, is not a problem. Augie's life is much more difficult. But this year, there's a change in the cosmos. I can't remember life before August. Mom says that when I saw him for the first time, I said, "It doesn't look like Lily." Lily was a doll Grands gave me when Mom was pregnant. People were shocked when they saw Augie, and I didn't understand. When I was 11, Augie went into hospital, and I stayed with Grands. I felt free. When Grands and I went shopping, no one stared at us. "Can I live with you forever?" I asked Grands one day. It was the best time in my life. And when I went home after 4 weeks away, I suddenly saw Augie how other people see him. It was only for a moment. Then I heard his funny little laugh, and I loved him again. I didn't tell anyone about this, only Grands. But 2 months later, Grands died. It was strange. One day she was on this earth, and the next day she wasn't. Where is she now? Before Grands died, she told me she loved me very much. "More than August?" I asked. She smiled. "Lots of angels look after Augie. You're very special to me, but it's a secret." When Grands died, I kept that secret. August's eyes aren't straight. They're in a different place, lower on his face. His top eyelids are half closed. His lower eyelids hang down. He doesn't have eyebrows or eyelashes. His nose is big. His head is pinched in at each side. He doesn't have cheeks. His face looks like a melted candle. He has scars. His teeth are small and splay out. He has tiny cauliflower-shaped ears. One doctor made him a chin and lower jaw, so now he can eat and talk. I wonder what Augie sees when he looks in the mirror. Does he see the Augie we see, or someone else? We spend a lot of time telling him he's normal, but the problem is, he isn't. At school, I'm Olivia Pullman. Via is my name at home. I'm the sister of a kid with a mushed-up face. That's fine, but there's more to me than that. My best friends are Miranda and Ella. We went to elementary and middle school together, and now we're at Faulkner High School. They love Augie. Miranda gave him an astronaut helmet when he was 5, and he wore it every day. Miranda is away all summer, and on the first day of school, she looks different. Her hair is short and pink. Ella's style is different too, and they don't talk to me. It hurts. Your mom asked us to take you home, Miranda says after school. No, it's fine, I say. Mom can pick me up. She sent me a text. Okay, Miranda says. It's not true. I take the subway home, and Mom isn't happy about that. I'm 15, I say. I'm friends with Eleanor now. She's clever, and I'm on the smart kids table at lunch because of her. There's a quiet guy called Justin with round glasses. He plays the violin, and I like him. I still see Miranda and Ella, but they're with the popular group. Miranda always asks how August is. She sends her love to him, but sometimes I'm busy and I don't see August at home. It's Halloween. Grands died on the night before Halloween, so it's a sad time of the year. Augie loves his new Boba Fett Halloween costume, but this Halloween he comes home early from school. He says he doesn't feel well. Then he tells me what Jack, his best friend, said to Julian. I'm not going back to school, August says. Sometimes kids are stupid, I reply. Sometimes I hate school and my friends. It's normal. Do you hate Miranda? Augie asks. I don't want to talk about her, I say. She phoned and told me you aren't friends anymore. She said she loves me like a big sister. Go back to school, Augie, I reply. Fine, he says. He tells me that Miranda misses me. I'm so happy. Chapter 4. Summer. Some kids ask me why I sit with the freak. I say to them, because he's a nice kid, and don't call him a freak. You're a saint, Summer, Jimena Chin says to me. Did Mr. Tushman ask you to be friends with him? Charlotte Cody asks me. No, I reply. I want to be friends with him. I sit with August Pullman at lunch. What's strange about that? People stare and whisper, and I feel sorry for him. It's hard for someone who looks different to be in a new school. Julian has a nickname for him, the Zombie Kid. Everyone calls him that now. Poor Augie. He looks strange, but he's just a kid. This year, there are kids who think they're too grown up to play. All they do is talk about who is cute and who isn't. I play a game called Foursquare with August during break. It's much more fun. Maya Markowitz says she can't play with us because of the plague. What's the plague? I ask her. Anyone who touches August has 30 seconds to wash their hands before they catch the plague, says Maya. That's silly, I tell her. I'm not in the popular group at school, but Savannah invites me to her Halloween party. She's the most popular girl in the school. All the boys like her, and all the girls want to be her friend. When I go to the party, Savannah opens the door. "Where's your boyfriend, Summer? He doesn't need a mask at Halloween." "August isn't my boyfriend," I say. "I know." She kisses me on the cheek. There are 15 popular kids in Savannah's house. Lots of them are in couples. "So why do you like the zombie kid, Summer?" asks Henry. I laugh. He isn't a zombie. "Julian likes you," says Savannah. "You can be his girlfriend, but you mustn't see the zombie kid anymore." "I see," I say. "Where's the bathroom, Savannah?" I sit on the side of the bathtub and ring Mom. "Can you pick me up? Don't ring the bell. Call me when you're outside." Mom drives me home and I go to the Halloween parade. Everyone is in costume, but my costume is the best. I'm the only unicorn. The next day at school, I tell Savannah that I left the party because I didn't feel well. I tell her that I like someone at school, but not Julian. "Who is it, Summer?" Savannah asks. "It's a secret," I say. August is away from school for 2 days, and when he comes back, he's in a strange mood. "Sorry you were ill at Halloween. I looked for Boba Fett at school," I say. "Yes, I wasn't well," he says. He opens a book and starts to read, which is rude. "I'm excited about the Egyptian Museum project," I say. He gives me a strange look. "I know Mr. Tushman told you to be friends with me. You don't have to." "He did not," I say. "Yes, he did." "I swear on my life," I say. "Okay, I'm sorry." Then August tells me what he heard Jack say to Julian. "But don't tell anyone," he says. I promise. Before August comes to my house for dinner, I tell Mom about his face. But when she sees him, she's shocked. I whisper to Mom, "Don't make a strange face." Then Mom becomes nice and normal with Augie. "Where's your dad?" August asks when he sees a photo of me and my dad. "Dad was in the army. He died a few years ago." "I didn't know that," Augie says. "He was wonderful," I say. "Do you know what happens to people when they die?" He shrugs. "They go to heaven. That's where my Grands is." "Maybe souls are born again as babies?" I ask. "Your soul is the same, but your body is different." "I like that," Augie says. "In the next life, I can have a better face. Maybe a handsome one." I laugh. "Can I ask you something?" "I expect you want to ask me about my face." "Yes," I say. "I have mandibulofacial dysostosis. I'm a medical wonder." I smile. "You're funny, Augie." "I'm cool beans," he says. On the day of the Egyptian Museum project, we wear Egyptian costumes, and the gym becomes a big museum. August and I are Egyptian mummies. We have 2 holes for our eyes and 1 hole for our mouths. I meet Jack at the water fountain. "Do you know why August is angry with me, Summer?" Jack asks. "Yes, I do," I say. "Can you tell me?" "No," I answer. "It's terrible," Jack says. "I don't know why he's angry with me." I can help Jack with 2 words. Bleeding scream, I whisper, and then I walk away. Chapter 5. Jack. Mr. Tushman phones my mom in the summer holidays. Why did he call? I ask. There's a boy, and he's homeschooled. Mr. Tushman wants you to show him the school with 2 other kids, she says. Why me? I ask. You're kind, answers Mom. This boy has something wrong with his face. Can you meet him next week? No, I don't want to, I say. Can you think about it? Asks Mom. He's deformed, I say. That's a terrible thing to say, Jack. You don't know who he is. But I do know. His name is August. I saw him outside a store when I was about 5. His face was scary. My baby brother Jamie stared at him. Veronica, our babysitter, was very angry with us. It's bad to stare, Veronica said. All the kids in town know August. It's hard to be normal when you see him. Who are the 2 other kids? I ask Mom later. Julian and Charlotte. I don't like Julian. He really wants to be popular, and Charlotte is a goody-goody. Jack, you have a problem with everyone, says Mom. Jamie says that August's face was so ugly it gave him nightmares. Mom is angry. He's just a boy like you. I think about this. Okay, tell Mr. Tushman I can show August the school. Mom smiles. I'm pleased with you, Jack. Now that I know August, there are 4 things about him. His face shocks you. Then, after a week, it's not so bad. He's a cool dude. He's funny and nice. He's really clever. He's much more intelligent than me. He laughs at my jokes, and I can tell him anything. I can have any friend, but I choose August. I'm very confused. August doesn't talk to me now, so I don't talk to him. I chat to the popular group, but I don't like them. This situation is all August's fault. I ask Summer for help, but I don't know what she means when she whispers, bleeding scream. Then one day in class, a thought suddenly comes into my head. I understand why August is angry with me. My mouth drops open like the kid in the movie Home Alone. Bleeding scream! At Halloween, someone in the homeroom wore a bleeding scream costume. No, it was August. He heard all those horrible things I said to Julian about him. I feel sick. I don't hear what Ms. Rubin says to the class. Suddenly, Julian speaks to me. Bad luck. Your partner's with your best friend. I don't answer. Tell Ms. Rubin you want to work with me, Julian says. No, Julian, I say. We can be partners. You're not friends with the freak anymore, says Julian. And I punch Julian right on the mouth. There's no explanation for this. Sometimes things just happen. Suddenly, I'm in Mr. Tushman's office, sitting opposite him.
Jack, this is very serious,
he says.
Kids are expelled for punching. I thought you and Julian were friends.
We're not, I say. Mom is there too. This is not like you, Jack.
Tell me why, Jack.
Mr. Tushman says. I can't, I say, and I begin to cry.
The holidays are in a few days. Come back after Christmas. You can write a letter to Julian and apologize. You can write a letter to me, too,
says Mr. Tushman. That sounds like a good plan, Mr. Tushman, says Mom. When I get home, I tell Mom why I punched Julian. Then I tell her about Halloween. I write to Mr. Tushman and to Julian, and I apologize for my behavior. Mr. Tushman sends me an email. He knows why I punched Julian. Julian's mother writes to Mr. Tushman and to our family. She thinks that looking after August is difficult. Julian's mother says that August is not at the right school for his needs. I like Mr. Tushman's reply.
August does not have special needs. He is not disabled. August is an extremely good student and has made friends with some wonderful young people.
My mom wants to pay Julian's dental bill. I send August a message. Sorry, August. Can you forgive me? I was stupid. I hope we can be friends again. Jack. Did Summer tell you why I was angry? August. No. She said, bleeding scream. Jack. Did you really punch Julian? Yes, I knocked his tooth out. A baby tooth. Can we be friends again? Okay. When I go back to school, the boys don't talk to me. At lunch, I sit with Summer and August. It's strange, I say. I don't exist now for people at school. Augie smiles. Welcome to my world. Augie and I are friends, and I go to his house after school. One afternoon, a teenage girl comes in. Via, this is Jack, says August. Via has a boyfriend called Justin. He comes from Brooklyn and plays the violin. Via looks at me. She knows what I said about Augie to Julian. I'm sure that she hates me. Chapter 6. Justin.
Olivia is beautiful, with olive skin and blue eyes, and she looks in your eyes when she talks to you. So I ask her out and she says yes. She tells me about August on our third date. She says he has a craniofacial abnormality. I'm really shocked the first time I meet Olivia's brother. She told me about August's problem, but I'm still surprised. There are 2 kids in August's room. One looks normal. He has got curly blonde hair, and his name is Jack. The other kid is August. I'm surprised, but I shake hands and try not to look at his face. Cool room, I say.
Are you Via's boyfriend?
Asks August. I think he's smiling. They look at my violin case.
Is that a machine gun?
The blonde kid asks. Olivia takes my hand.
Let's go to my room.
I sit in a chair near her desk, and Olivia sits on the bed.
So, what do you think? Are you shocked?
Olivia asks. No, I lie.
People don't come back for a second visit. Friends don't come to my birthday parties because of August.
I nod.
His face is a little scary. Are you scared?
I smile. I'm not scared. I give Olivia a heart necklace for Valentine's Day. She makes me a bag. She's very creative, but she wants to study science. She wants to be a geneticist and find cures for people like her brother. I meet Olivia's parents in a Mexican restaurant on Saturday night. I'm nervous, but her parents are really nice. They ask about my music, and I tell them. My parents don't talk to me. They don't know what I want to do with my life. We go back to Olivia's house for ice cream, and her dad tells me where their dog Daisy came from. A homeless man sold her for $20. Their dog looks happy. Daisy knows she's lucky. I like Olivia's family. They laugh a lot. Not like my family. My mom and dad got divorced when I was 4. They hate each other. Olivia's family say, "I love you" all the time. I can't remember when anyone said that to me. Some parents care too much about their children. There is a word for them. They're called overprotective. My parents are the opposite of overprotective. The spring play this year is Our Town. I'm the lead role. Hooey! Miranda, a girl with pink hair, is the female lead role, and Olivia is her understudy. I have 6 weeks to learn the part, rehearse, play in my band, and see Olivia. Olivia and I see a ladybug, and she says it's a good luck sign. We both make a wish. One day, Olivia's mom asks me to walk with Jack to the bus stop. Jack looks like a little tough kid, but he isn't. When Jack stops at a shop to buy some sweets, I see 3 boys laughing, and they follow him when he comes out. They say things, then run away. Are they friends of yours? I ask.
They're at my school. Julian and his 2 gorillas, Henry and Miles. It's war, he says. They leave notes in my locker like, "Everybody hates you."
Tell your teacher, I say. Jack shakes his head.
I'm friends with someone who isn't the most popular boy in the school.
Then I realize he's friends with August. Jack gets on the bus and we say goodbye. I walk to the subway station and see the 3 boys again. I take my glasses off and put them in my pocket. I hold my violin case in my arms and walk toward them. I look tough. "Leave Jack alone," I say. My voice is like Clint Eastwood. I tap my violin case. "Do you understand?" They nod, and I go down the stairs into the subway. The play rehearsals take up a lot of time. I like Miranda with the pink hair. One day, she asks me about Olivia and her brother. "Do you know them?" I ask.
Via and I were good friends,
she says. She shows me a photo of a little boy in an astronaut helmet.
I gave August that helmet,
says Miranda. Later, I find Olivia crying. "What's the matter?" I ask.
I'm a horrible person. My parents don't know about the play.
It's not too late. There are still tickets, I say.
I don't want them to come. No one at this school knows about Augie. I don't know why I feel like this,
she says. I understand, I say. Olivia is like a bird, a little lost bird. I give her my wing. She can hide under it.
Chapter 7, August. Jack and I make a potato lamp. It's a great success at the science fair, and we get the highest mark for it. We stand at our tables. All eyes stare at me. I feel like I'm the north point on a compass, and compass needles always point north. Mom and Dad stay near my table quite a lot, with Jack's parents and Summer's mom. They know I don't like school events with parents. In February, the war gets worse. Julian leaves notes in our lockers. You stink, big cheese. Freak. Get out of our school, orc. Summer wants to tell Mr. Tushman, but I don't want to. We leave notes too, but ours are funny. You're so pretty, Julian. I love you. They play tricks on Jack, but not on me. Jack ignores them, but I can see he's upset. Julian says that Jack paid a man to frighten him, Miles, and Henry, but nobody believes him. And the kids in school don't play the plague game now. It's great. People touch me, and some people joke with me. I hate my ears. They look like squashed pieces of pizza dough. My hearing is worse, so now I have a hearing aid. I don't like it. I look like Lobot, I say. The ear doctor smiles.
In The Empire Strikes Back?
I'm surprised. You like Star Wars?
I do.
He says.
Lobot is cool.
I can't hear with this hearing aid, I say to Mom.
Wait until I turn it on,
says the ear doctor. Wow! Now I can hear shiny sounds in my brain. How is it, Augie? Asks Mom. Don't shout. I smile. I can hear now. The sounds are bigger,
Now you have bionic ears.
says the ear doctor. Thank you, I say. No one at school says anything about my hearing aid except for Jack. He says I look like an FBI agent. One day, Mom and Via have a big argument about the school play. Via says she doesn't want us to come because she doesn't have a speaking part. I can tell it isn't really about that. Can we see Justin in the play? I ask at dinner. It's a boring play, says Via. Don't lie to me, I say to her. Excuse me, says Mom. Via doesn't want me to go to the play. She doesn't want her new friends to see that her brother's a freak. Augie, Mom says. That's not true. I go to my room. Mom usually follows me, but today she doesn't. After half an hour, the door opens and Via comes in. Augie, come downstairs. No, I say. This isn't about you. Daisy is sick. Come and say goodbye. I push the pillow away. Downstairs, Daisy is lying on her side. I'm taking her to the animal hospital. She's old, Augie, says Mom. They can make her better, I say. I don't know, says Mom. I love you, Daisy, Via says. She kisses Daisy on the nose. Bye, little girlie, I whisper to Daisy. Justin arrives and gives me a big hug. We sit in the living room, but we don't say anything. When Mom and Dad come home 2 hours later, Daisy isn't with them. She was very ill, says Mom. She died in Dad's arms. I see Dad cry, and when I go to bed, I imagine Daisy next to me. I wake up in the night and get into bed with Mom and Dad. I'm sorry about what I said to Via. Via started a new school, and it isn't easy for her, says Mom. Is Daisy with Grands now? I ask. I think so, says Mom. Go to sleep now, Augie. I shut my eyes. Daisy is in heaven. Via gives me a big hug and tickets to the school play. I'm proud to be your sister, she says. On the day of the school play, I keep my head down and walk behind Mom through the long, bright hallways. Via's school is much bigger than my school. Via's an understudy. What's that? I ask. An understudy takes an actor's part when they can't perform, says Mom. Then the lights go down and the audience become quiet. The curtain opens. Justin is on stage in a chair with his violin. Then the main female character comes on stage. But it isn't Miranda. It's Via. The play is amazing, and Via cries real tears at the end. The curtain closes, and the actors come on stage one by one. Via and Justin are the last, and everyone stands up.
Bravo!
Dad shouts. I clap until my hands hurt. Then Mom, Dad, and me go backstage.
What a shock to see you on stage, Via,
says Dad. Miranda's not well, says Via. There are so many people. I can't see Mom. Suddenly, someone picks me up.
Hello, Major Tom.
It's Miranda.
Chapter 8. Miranda. I don't see my father very often after my parents' divorce. My mother is strange. She has a happy face for the rest of the world, but not for me. She doesn't talk to me much, or tell me about her feelings. I don't know what she was like when she was my age. I usually love summer camp. We do fun things like sports, drama, cooking, even scuba diving. But this summer, I don't want to go. I want to stay with Mom, but she needs time alone. So I go to camp and hate it. I don't know anyone. The other kids ask me about my home and family, and I invent things. My parents are in Europe. I live in a big house. I have a dog called Daisy, I tell them. Then one day I say, I have a little brother who is deformed.
Oh no, sorry,
the girls say. I feel strange. I gave Augie the astronaut helmet, so I think he's my brother. And that summer, I'm popular. Even the popular girls in Bungalow 32 like me. They change my hair and makeup. And at night, we take the path through the woods to the boys' camp. When I come home from camp, I don't call Via because I don't want to talk about my parents' divorce. I call Ella because she's an easier friend. She doesn't ask me questions, and she likes my pink hair and makeup. When I see Via at school, I can tell she doesn't like my hair or my new group of friends. I'm the one who's different, and Via is just the same. Then one day I see her with this cute boy called Justin. He always carries a violin, and he has his arm around Via. Via has a boyfriend, I say to Ella. I don't know why I'm surprised. The drama teacher tells me the spring play is The Elephant Man. I go home and read the play. It's about a man called John Merrick. He lived more than 100 years ago. He was terribly deformed. We can't do this play, Mr. Davenport, I say to him. I have a little brother with a deformed face. He looks angry, but he changes the play to our town. I miss Via's family. I love her mom and dad. They make me feel safe. And I love Augie. When I was young, some people didn't understand why I went there to play.
His face is creepy,
they said. You're stupid, I said. One day, I telephone Via's house and Augie answers. Hello, Major Tom. I use my nickname for him.
Miranda!
He sounds happy to hear my voice.
I go to school now.
Wow, I'm surprised.
I have some new friends, he tells me. A boy called Jack and a girl called Summer.
That's great, Augie. I miss you. You know I love you always.
I love you too, Miranda, he says.
Say hi to Via. Tell her I miss her, I say. My parents can't come to the play on the opening night. They're too busy. My boyfriend, Zach, has a volleyball game, and my friends go to that, even Ella. It's sad because I'm good at acting. Tonight is the first night. When I look through the curtain, I can see Augie with his mom, Isabel, and his dad, Nate. Augie's hair is shorter, and he has a hearing aid. Mr. Davenport, I say, I'm sorry, but I can't go on tonight.
What?
He says. I don't feel well, I say. It's a lie. Mr. Davenport looks really angry.
Miranda!
My eyes fill with tears. I can't.
Fine,
he screams. He turns and speaks to a boy.
Find Olivia,
he says.
Tell her she's on stage tonight.
I run to the dressing room and give my costume to Via.
Are you not well, Miranda?
No, I'm not, I say.
I can't remember the lines, Via says. I don't understand. Why, Miranda?
Olivia, 2 minutes,
Mr. Davenport says. I don't answer Via's question. I don't know the answer. I watch the play from the wings. Justin is amazing, and Via is even more amazing. Mr. Davenport is nervous, but he's happy at the end. When Via and Justin walk on at the end of the play, the audience stand up. Via's family come backstage, and Augie looks lost in the crowd. Major Tom! I'm so happy to see August. It feels really good when he hugs me. How are you feeling? Asks Isabel. Much better, I answer. Come with us for dinner, says Isabel. Oh, no, I start to say. Please come, says Via. She puts her arm around me and smiles her old smile. For the first time in a very long time, I feel happy. Chapter 9, August. In the spring every year, Class 5 goes away for 3 days and 2 nights to a nature reserve. There are cabins with bunk beds, campfires, and long walks through the woods. I'm nervous about going away from home. Mom helps me pack. Your teachers are there, Mom says, and Jack. We can't take cell phones, I say. I know, says Mom. The next day it's dark when I wake up. I put my hearing aid on, and suddenly the world is alive. I can hear the rubbish trucks and the birds in the garden. I hear Mom's alarm clock beeping. I sit next to Jack on the bus, and Summer is in front of us. Everyone is happy, and I'm especially happy because Julian is not on the trip. When we get to the nature reserve, there are 3 bunk beds in every room. Jack and I play a game called Rock, Paper, Scissors. I win, and I get the top bunk bed. After lunch, we walk through the woods for 2 hours. The trees here are big and block the sunlight. The nature guide shows us the signs that there are deer and bears in the wood. He tells us about the birds. Later, we have a campfire and eat roast hot dogs. I love the campfire.
I like the sounds it makes and the light on people's faces. When we get back to our cabin, I fall asleep when my face touches the pillow. The next day, we go horseback riding in the morning and we climb trees in the afternoon. The nature guides help us. We're tired when we get back to the cabins for dinner. We have a rest and then we go to a fairground to see an outdoor movie. We put our sleeping bags on the ground. When the lights go on, they're bright, and I think of the scene in Close Encounters when the alien spaceship lands. Then there's an announcement.
Welcome to the 23rd Annual Big Movie Night. Please don't leave any litter. Don't go into the fields or the woods. During the movie, don't talk, play music, or run about. Tonight's movie is The Sound of Music.
I clap because it's Via's favorite movie, but some kids boo and hiss. The lights go out. The movie starts. I put my yellow hoodie on. The hills are alive. In the middle of the movie, Jack needs the toilet. I go with him, but there's a long queue. I follow Jack toward the trees, but it's very dark. We go behind a tree, but on our way back, we meet a group of older kids with a flashlight. Ah! Oh my God! One of the girls screams.
Ah, no way,
says another boy. They all laugh and cover their eyes. Let's get out of here, Jack says quietly. The boy with the flashlight points it in my face.
Look, guys, it's Golem.
Stop it, Eddie, one of the girls says.
It's Alien,
says another boy.
It's an orc,
laughs Eddie. Leave him alone, says Jack. What's your problem?
Your boyfriend's my problem,
says Eddie. Jack, let's go, I say.
It talks,
screams Eddie. Jack tries to push past, but Eddie knocks him down. I want to run away, but Jack is on the ground. Then I hear a new voice.
What's up?
Eddie turns round and points his flashlight.
Leave them alone.
It's Amos, Miles, and Henry. Jack gets up and we walk toward Amos, but Eddie pulls my hoodie and I fall backward. Amos runs at Eddie and everything becomes crazy. They pull me to my feet. Someone shouts, "Run!" I can hear footsteps behind. Voices shout and girls scream. We run and run until we can't breathe. Finally, we stop and listen.
We lost them,
says Henry.
That was strange,
says Amos. Thanks, I say. Amos nods and gives me a high five. You lost your hearing aid, says Jack. I start to cry, but the boys are really nice to me.
You're one brave little dude,
says Amos. Something changes that night when everyone hears about the boys in the wood. Some of the girls ask me if I'm okay. I see Eddie's face when I close my eyes. He looks at me like he hates me.
Like a lamb to the slaughter,
Dad said when I started school. Now I understand. Mom is there when the bus arrives at school. Mr. Tushman phoned the parents, and she knows about the boys in the wood. We walk home. Do you want to hear about the good part or the bad part? I ask. The bad part was only 1 hour, says Mom. Remember, there are more good people on earth than bad people. Later, Dad and Via give me a big white cardboard box. Inside, there's a puppy. It's black and furry and has bright eyes. We call the puppy Bear because Mom says he looks like a little bear cub. Via and I show him Daisy's toys, and we laugh and play. Chapter 10. August. Everything is different at school, and the story of the kids in the wood gets bigger and bigger. Jack's version of the story is funny, but there are 3 things which always stay the same. The older kids are horrible to me because of my face. Jack defends me. Amos, Henry, and Miles protect me. Because of this, Amos is now very popular, and Miles and Henry aren't friends with Julian. Julian still gives me horrible looks. He doesn't talk to me or Jack, but he's the only one who is like that now, and we don't care. The day before school ends, Mr. Tushman calls me into his office. He talks to me about the kids in the wood, but he understands that I don't want to contact the police.
The night in the wood was a low point this year,
He says. In a way, it was good, I say. We're all closer at school now,
Things weren't easy this year with Julian.
says Mr. Tushman. I'm surprised. Do you know about that?
I know a lot.
He says.
In fact, Julian is not coming back to Beecher Prep next year.
What? I can't hide my surprise,
His parents don't think this school is right for him.
he says. Then I notice that the pumpkin portrait of Mr. Tushman isn't there. My self-portrait as an animal is there in its place. My self-portrait as a duck, I say.
I love it, Augie.
He says.
We're happy you're a student at this school. See you tomorrow at graduation.
What's graduation? I ask.
The school gives medals to the clever students.
He says. See you tomorrow, Mr. Tushman. In our last English class, Mr. Brown's precept is, follow the day and reach for the sun. He wants us to send him our personal precept this summer. On graduation day, Dad drives me to school. Does my hair look okay? I ask Dad. The hairdresser cut it yesterday.
It looks good, Augie.
Dad is smiling at me. You didn't like my braid, did you, Dad? I say.
It was all right. I didn't like the astronaut helmet.
Really? I say. And then I lost it,
I threw it out.
says Dad. What? Dad looks at my face. He can see how angry I am. Does Mom know?
No way.
Says Dad.
Don't tell her.
Okay, I say. Then I tell him he can buy me the new Xbox and then a car in about 6 years. He starts laughing. I open the door and get out. And then I remember something. Can you and Mom not kiss me after graduation? It's embarrassing. Dad smiles.
Okay.
We're in a big hall for graduation. We look at the program, and I tell Summer she looks beautiful. Mr. Tushman stands up to speak.
I want you all to think about this last year.
He says.
You are all a little taller, a little stronger, a little more intelligent. I hope.
Some people in the audience laugh.
There's a sentence I like in J.M. Barrie's The Little White Bird.
He puts his glasses on and opens a book.
Always try to be a little kinder than necessary. Kindness is a simple thing. You are kind when you encourage someone, when you give them a smile.
Mr. Tushman leans forward.
Children, in the future you make for yourself, anything is possible. Be kind, and the world can be a better place.
Mr. Tushman gives Jimena Chin a gold medal. Charlotte gets a silver medal, and Amos wins the medal for sport. Summer wins a gold medal for creative writing,
The final medal
says Mr. Tushman.
is the Henry Ward Beecher Award for courage, kindness, friendship, and character. These are the qualities that make us great human beings. The award goes to August Pullman.
People applaud. Friends pat my back. Hands push me out of my seat. Someone shouts, "Good for you, Augie!" And when I reach the stage, everyone stands up. Mr. Tushman puts the gold medal over my head, and I can almost hear the Star Wars theme music playing. I'm just an ordinary kid. As we walk to our house, it's a perfect June day. I give Mom a hug. "Thank you. I'm pleased you made me go to school," I say. "Thank you," she says. "For what?" I ask. "For being you." She bends down and whispers in my ear, "You really are a wonder, Augie. A wonder." School plays. Drama is usually an activity after school, but it is as important as school subjects. It helps children and young people become more confident. It gives them the skills of creativity and curiosity that they need in their lives. They learn better speaking skills. Drama also teaches them how to understand people from all backgrounds and with different points of view. The school play is the first time many students experience the excitement of a live audience. It is fun to stand on stage and connect with people. At school, the audience are full of parents and grandparents, and it is exciting for students. Children and young people read about characters in books, but drama gives them the chance to become a character on stage. Like sport, it also gives them the chance to be successful outside the classroom. Drama helps schools discover great talent, but most of all, it brings people together. But what kind of drama is best for schools? Teachers sometimes choose a subject that the children are studying. Plays about history are popular. History comes alive when it is on the stage. Some schools like traditional plays. Other schools prefer something modern. Some drama teachers like plays with songs and musical instruments. They give the actors the words and music on an MP3 file, so they can learn the songs at home. Many children love to dance, and dance groups can perform in a school play. They can practice in the lunch break. Students who don't want to play a part on stage can build the sets, control the lights, and manage the costumes. Neuroscientists say that both the left and the right sides of the brain need stimulation and training. Creative activity exercises the right side of the brain, and students who do drama are often very good at academic subjects at school. Summer camps. When school in the U.S. finishes for the summer, young people go to summer camp for 2 or 3 weeks to have fun outdoors. Campers sleep in small cabins, and summer camps teach important life lessons. To be more confident, the power of friendship, to help others, how to solve problems, how to work in a team, the importance of a smile, how to be with people who are different. Campers can choose their favorite activities before they arrive. There is a daily program, and campers go from one activity to the next. What is a typical day in a summer camp like? 7:30 a.m. Wake up. A bell rings to start your day. 8 a.m. The whole camp meets at the flagpole to fly the American flag, the stars and stripes. 8:15 a.m. Breakfast. There is cereal, hot food, and fruit. 9 a.m. Cabin cleanup. There is a prize each week for the cleanest cabin. 9:30 a.m. Morning activities. Campers can do horseback riding, sailing, basketball, and art. 12 p.m. Lunch. Meals at camp are fun. 1 p.m. Rest. 1:45 p.m. Afternoon activities are different. Soccer, dance, archery, canoeing. 4:30 p.m. Free time. You can go for a swim or do what you want. 6 p.m. Dinner. Try a cheesesteak. 7:30 p.m. After dinner activities. Singing round the campfire. Sometimes there are special theme weeks, video games, or Harry Potter. 9:30 p.m. Lights out. David Bowie was born in Brixton, London, in 1947. His real surname was Jones. Smith and Jones are very common surnames in the UK, and Davy Jones was a famous singer in the group The Monkees. David Bowie didn't want to create any confusion, so he changed his surname. At school, Bowie was friends with rock guitarist Peter Frampton. Bowie played the saxophone, wrote songs, and sang. Bowie's first success in the UK was a song called Space Oddity in 1969. The BBC used the song when Neil Armstrong and Buzz Aldrin landed on the moon. Bowie's fictional astronaut, Major Tom, is in Space Oddity and another 2 songs. In 1971, Bowie's album Hunky Dory produced 3 famous hits. The title song showed Bowie's respect for the artist Andy Warhol, and the album also included a song for the singer and songwriter Bob Dylan. The song Changes represented Bowie himself. In 1972, on the BBC TV show Top of the Pops, Bowie appeared as the rock star Ziggy Stardust. Ziggy Stardust turned Bowie into a star. By 1975, Bowie changed his image again. He wrote his famous song Fame together with John Lennon, who also sang on the record. At around this time, Nile Rodgers wanted to play guitar in Bowie's band. He didn't get the job, but he later produced the biggest-selling album of Bowie's career, Let's Dance. Bowie was also an actor. He was the main character in the film The Man Who Fell to Earth and Jareth the Goblin in a fantasy film. He also starred on Broadway in a theater production of The Elephant Man. Bowie died in New York in 2016. His last album was Black Star. Halloween is one of the most popular festivals in America, and for me, it's the celebration of the end of summer and the beginning of fall. At this time of the year, people don't watch fantasy or romantic movies. They like to watch horror movies and be really scared. Halloween is not Halloween without a jack-o'-lantern. You need a really big pumpkin to make it. Potatoes are too small. You also need candles to put inside. Several weeks before Halloween, children choose their favorite costumes. Some like to dress as their favorite Disney character or superhero. However, one of the most popular costumes is the vampire. I know lots of parents who don't want their young children out on the streets trick-or-treating. They organize a party at home with lots of scary food and monster music.